Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakodah, Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there. Shalom to you all. I got titles in my head. First title was, and I might put that in there. I might put what Paul said in 1 Corinthians 14. The Lord is not the author of confusion. Right? There's a lot of confusion with these camps. And these guys are all going off, all of them. If you're not GMS, you're another camp, or you're not affiliated with GMS, you're going off. One way or another, you're going off. I don't care if it's ISUPK, IUIC, any of them, Sakari, Genesis. And they masters of confusion, man. They here to say a lot of good things. You know, they got currently this thing with the strangers. And it's a stupid argument. You know, if you did the research, you would understand when you come across the word strangers mainly in the Old Testament. Sometimes the word stranger means an Israelite born outside the land. Sometimes it's another nation. Very simple. That's why you got to go into the Hebrew. Anyway, the Lord is not the author of confusion. That's title 1. The second title is Damn. Who is the stranger in Isaiah 14? How is the stranger in Isaiah 14 Israelite or an Israelite? Elder Tahar. You see the man with the fitted. Right then and there, I know. I'm gonna click on his page in a minute. A lot of these people watch videos. Let me do this. Okay, in this video right here, I was rebuking the hell out of these renegade Israelite group, IUIC, just doing whatever the hell they want to do. Just change shit. They just change shit. Oh, we taught it 3 years ago, but now we change it. 5 years in the future, we went back to the old way. I mean, you want to talk about confusion, man. So I was going into this. Hell is a condition, and you're living in it. So this is what the brother there said. I don't know his name. He's one of the heads, I guess, of Oklahoma. Now you got to qualify that. When you say hell is a condition, you got to qualify it. That's why in this video, I use the account of Jonah and the belly of the fish. And he made a statement. Matter of fact, let me do this. Let me just put in the word hell. I'll just put in the word hell. And I put in hell instead of hall. That's a typo. I'll change it. Anyway, hell. Then we're going to get into the word stranger. The individual said, how is a stranger an Israelite? Now, if you did the research, you would see it. So, anyway. Okay. Right here, the first time hell, Hell, double hockey sticks, is found in the scriptures. Is in Deuteronomy 32 and 22. It says, "For a fire is kindled in my anger, and shall burn unto the lower hell, and shall consume the earth with her increase, and set on fire the foundation of the mountains." So one day hell is going to bust open and burn the whole earth. No. You know what that's talking about? It's talking about an ostrich, man. Inside joke. It's talking about a volcano. It's talking about a volcano. Let's see what the chat says. Let's see what the chat says. The second time you come across the word hell is in 2 Samuel 22 verse 6. The sorrow of hell compassed me about. The snares of death prevented me. That's David speaking. And I believe that's also stated in the Psalms too. That's also in the Psalms. That's a condition. He was fighting against the Philistines, which were Egyptians, one of the tribes of the Egyptians, or one of the tribes of Mizraim, over that land in Canaan. That's why they were fighting over the land. Most High promised the land to Israel. The Philistines said, "Nope, that's our land." They had a series of wars, back and forth wars. Because when you have land, what do you have? You can create a farm. You know, food comes out of anything you get in the supermarket comes from a farm. Whether it be milk, cereal is grain, meat is come from a farm, eggs come from a farm, chickens come from a farm. Everything comes from all your candy bars, chocolate that come from the ground. It's cocoa, cacao, come from real cocoa is cacao, not cocoa. That's bullshit. Come from South America. Coffee, everything comes from. Everything is. That's why you think Bill Gates of hell and these other super elites, these super rich, they're buying up acres and acres of land because they can control you. Anyway, I'm sorry. The sorrow of hell compassed me about. The snares of death prevented me. What is that talking about? Matter of fact, you know what? Let me do this. Let me go to the chat. So we're dealing with the word hell. Yes, the brother from the IUIC said hell is a condition, but you got to qualify it. Hell is also the grave. When your grandmother dies, when she's 95, you know, she lived a long life, put in a grave, put in a tomb, and she's in hell. Her body's in hell. Sepulcher, when they put the Lord in the sepulcher, it said, this prophecy said, David said that the Lord will not leave me in hell. I will not see corruption. He was prophesying about what Yahushua is going to do, because Peter broke it down. He said, this is what David said. And Peter didn't know he was David, by the way, for you people out there. Peter didn't know he was King David. Okay? Yahushua knew he was Solomon. Peter didn't know he was King David. Yahushua could have said, you know you were King David. He didn't tell him that. At least there's no scripture on it where he pulled him to the side. He said, you know you King David, huh? So let me do this. Let me do it this way. Meaning. Because the chat be going off sometimes. Yeah, the Song of Moses. Also, Moses wrote some of the Psalms. The 90th Psalm is a song of Moses. Then you have a lot of Psalms that are written by David. David and Moses are the same. Okay? Often written in Deuteronomy 32:22 is a verse from the Song of Moses, a poetic. The whole 32nd chapter is a song, right? Matter of fact, when it said they shall sing the song of David in Revelation, I believe it's 15, if I'm not mistaken. A lot of people say, well, the song of David is Exodus 15. Nope, the song of David is the song of Moses is Deuteronomy 32. So correct that. Book of Deuteronomy, where Moses warns Israel about the consequences of turning away from God. Here's the verse, King James Version for reference. for fire, meaning and breakdown. This verse is rich in imagery and carries a strong message of divine judgment. Here's a breakdown. Let's see if the chat is correct. Back to the basics, and we're analyzing things. We're psychoanalyzing. For a fire is kindled in my anger. God is, I'm reading verbatim, God is expressing righteous anger. Fire symbolizes intense wrath and judgment. Yep, this place is going to be, Babylon is going to be destroyed by fire. And my man Trump is going to usher it in. That's the man. That's the man. Let's give Trump a hand. Most High set him up. He said that. He was right. He said, the Most High, God chose me. God did chose you. To usher in the chip and to usher in the World War III. Unless something happens where he dies or he gets impeached. I don't see that happen. I see him as a guy to do it. We see him as the King of Babylon, Isaiah 14. We see him as the cruel Lord. Definitely the cruel Lord in Isaiah 19. We've been going through that. It's not literal fire only. It represents the destructive force of God's judgment when people rebel. Well, he does send literal fire. He's sending literal fire. And shall burn unto the lowest hell, lowest hell. Hebrew, Sheol or Sha'awal, represents the deepest realm of the dead. Yeah, it represents the grave, the pit. The idea is that God's anger reaches even to the most hidden, lowest, or profound places. No one can escape it. It emphasizes total and far-reaching judgment and shall consume the earth with her increase. So that means hell is going to be so full that it's going to come on the earth. You're going to see your relatives that are in hell swimming in fire on the earth. It says, no, it don't mean that. It says here, her increase refers to fruitfulness of earth, its crops, blah, blah, blah. It's talking about the act literal earth. But the chat said it's not a literal fire. Mountain symbolizes strength and stability. In summary, the verse conveys that God's anger at rebellion is powerful, consuming, and far-reaching. Okay, it didn't mention anything about an eternal hell that your soul, when you die, your soul goes in and burns forever. So they're pretty right on that. Pretty much on point. Give Chad a hand. Okay, so let's come over here. Let's come over here. Meaning, the sorrow, 2 Samuel 22 verse 6, the sorrow of hell compassed me about, the snares of death prevented me. Meaning and explanation, this verse is part of a song of praise that David sings to the Lord after being delivered from his enemies. The enemies, well, he had two enemies. He had the Philistines. He's talking about the Philistines. And Saul, King Saul, especially King Saul. No, really more so, he was talking about the Philistines. It's also parallel in Psalms 18, and I said that. The sorrow of hell compassed me about. Sorrow can also be translated as cords or pains. Give me a second. Okay. So it didn't say anything about, and we're going to get into the stranger thing. Let me show you that the stranger in Isaiah 14 are Israelites. Sorrow, phrase breakdown, the sorrow hell can pass me about. Sorrow can be translated in cords, pains. The Hebrew word here is often interpreted as bindings or entanglement. And remember, Jada Pickett Smith committed adultery and said, I call it an entanglement. That's why, and she had hair back there. After that entanglement, the Most High took all of her hair. And she said, oh, I have no problem with that. Oh, she had a problem with that because when Chris Rock made that joke, you were the only one that didn't laugh. Even your boy, even old boy Will Smith he laughed until he saw you didn't laugh because you were affected by it. A woman, look, you guys, there was one black, I think it was at the DMV or something, I seen one black woman, she had a fucking bald head. I said, I know this bitch don't think she's attractive. I know she don't think she's attractive with a bald ass head. I know that. Now a man have a bald head, have a bald head. Women don't feel right with having no hair. That's part of your glory, woman. Let me come back over here. Okay, so let's open this up. This is really back to the basics. I remember when we first got on YouTube, I think it was 2008, I did a video on the truth about hell. And that boy, they got all kind of hits. All them brothers that are in GMS now, that's been in this thing for going on 20 years, oh man, what kind of old shit? I ain't know about that. You know? So anyway, okay, so let's look up the word hell. Okay, it says the same thing as in Deuteronomy 32 and 22. Same thing. Sheol, let's hear it.
Strong's H 7585. Sheol. And second entry, Sheol. Sheol.
Now in the Hebrew, it's Sha'awal. Sha'awal. In ancient Hebrew, Paleo Hebrew, you didn't have these dots and connectors and so forth. You didn't have that. That's the Assyrian tongue. Underworld, grave, hell, pit. That's what it means. Not talking about some your spirit. And it's not mentioned anywhere. Well, show me. No, in the Old Testament, there's a certain precept that says hell is talking about a place where your soul burned forever. It's not. There's nowhere in the Old Testament. So did the Old Testament Israelites have a fear for hell? No, because the Most High never told them about a hell. Here you got Israelites, IUIC, a major camp, teaching an old wives' tale, teaching a fairy tale. And these niggas believe it. We got up 3 years ago. You know what? Hell is the actual place that you burn in. Yahweh Sab said, sounds good to me. Kanai Gaba had no problem with it. Yahweh Sab, Eathan had no problem with it. Asaph, none of them guys had no problem with it. You know what they said? Most High in Christ bless. So, anyway. So let's come back over here. Gotta have a little fun with this. Okay. Did the IUIC change their stance again on the subject of hell? It's actually hell. Matter of fact, I'm going to change it right now. No, I'll change it later. So if you listen to the video, almost an hour long, he never mentions, it says in the title again, hell is a condition. and you're living in it. I gave you, well, one scripture. King David said, hell compass me about, the death compass me, whatever he said. And that was in Psalm 18 as well as 2 Samuel, 22. That's a condition. Jonah, an ability to fish, he said, I'm in hell. That's a condition. Matter of fact, I'm sorry. I wanted to hit that too. See, when Gad went out in the fought, they would say, it's a good day to die. Because you don't know, you might die. So you get in the mindset that you can die out there. So you get your mind right, I could die. It's a good day to die. You don't die, you come back. You go back out to war again. It's a good day to die. You embrace death. You fight fiercely. You come back. You keep coming. One day you die. One day you get killed. One day you get shot. So that's what David was pretty much saying. It's a good day to die. So let's come on back. Back to the basics. This is basic. This is so basic. Okay, Job 11:8. It is as high as heaven. What canst thou do? Deeper than hell. What canst thou know? He ain't talking about the spiritual demon hell. Job 26:6. Hell is naked before me, and destruction hath no covering. The wicked shall be turned into hell, and all the nations that forget the Most High. Well, then where are we going to get our slave from? How are the Edomites going to go into slavery when they're the wicked and they're going to go to hell? There's no such thing as a spiritual hell. Trump is concerned about him whether he's going to go to hell. No, you're not going to go to hell. You're going to go to heaven. You're going to go where every man goes to, every living being, man. Animals also go to a spiritual place. Animals get reincarnated too. There it is, Psalms 18. The sorrows of hell compass me. That's from 2 Samuel, right? The sorrow of death compass me, and pains of hell get hold on me. David. If there's an actual hell, you know the Most High is down there in hell too. He putting the charcoal in there to keep it hot. Psalms 139:8. If I ascend up into heaven, thou art there. That means space, outer space. If I make my bed in hell, that means the grave. Behold, thou art there. So it's talking about the grave. Nowhere in the Old Testament. Now, where did I say I wanted to go to? Oh, in the New Testament. I forgot where I wanted to go to. I forgot where I said I wanted to go to. Oh, Jonah. Yeah, now I remember. Jonah. Jonah 2 verse 2. And said, I cried by reason of my affliction unto Yahweh, and he heard me out of the belly of hell. Cried I, and thou heardest my voice. So when was Jonah burning in hell, crying for the Lord? And the Lord came and plucked him out of hell. Matter of fact, you know what I'm gonna do? Let me do this. Let me go to the chat. Joan. Okay. Let me do this. Put in meaning. See, why you Israelites out there constantly debating with them Christians, and it ain't gonna go nowhere. You ain't gonna bring no Christians out of this thing. You could be teaching the truth. You could be teaching the Israelites. You can be your focus is on the hopeful elect. Okay, Jonah 2 verse 2 NIV. He said, in my distress I called Yahweh, and he answered me from deep in the realm of the dead. Beautiful, no hell mentioned. I called for help, and you listened to my cry. Meaning and breakdown. This verse is the beginning of Jonah's prayer from inside the belly of the great fish. So when you die and go to hell, according to Roman Catholics and the IUIC, you're going to wind up in the belly of the whale, the belly of the fish. It says, of the great fish reflects a moment of deep desperation, repentance, and the Most High's mercy. Most High punish. So okay, you ain't gonna do what I tell you to do. Okay, you gonna get mad? Okay, boom, you out of here. I'm gonna punish your ass. Okay, it mentions nothing about. Okay, let me go down to 3 right here. From deep in the realm of the dead, I call for help. Did Jonah die and come back to life? Did he have an out? No, he was alive, but he's in a situation, a death-defying situation. He thought if nobody saved him from that fish, he was going to die in there. And you had this guy, Brother Polite, arguing about the whale. Yeah, a whale can't swallow an orange. Well, you know where he's at. He's a nobody now. He'll never get out of prison. In other words, the missiles will come before he gets out of prison. Unless they cut their time short, cut his time short, he'll be Laleen. He'll be the black Laleen. So he ain't coming. But you know why he did that? Because he came against the prophets of the Lord. It says literally the Hebrew here uses Sheol, the realm of the dead. Jonah is using poetic imagery to describe being as good as dead. Beautiful. Possibly even feeling spiritually separated from the Most High. It reflects extreme hopelessness, both physically trapped inside a fish in the sea, and spiritually. So the fish was actually he was swimming around. God damn, that man, you know you're gonna die, and you listen to my cry. So it's not talking about a spiritual hell of fire, a spiritual fire that you burning forever. Roman Catholic bullshit. IUIC bullshit. So IUIC are half Roman Catholics. Okay, let's come on back. Let's go back to the title. Hell is a condition and you're living in it. He didn't qualify it. Because they teaching IUIC, I know, a year ago. Oh, hell is the actual place that you burn in forever. So when you watch this video, this brother didn't bring out the full truth. And it didn't get back up to the heads, because the heads, UIC said it's not cut. Take that video down. You went off. Because these people that are listening, when they walk, they're thinking we're in hell. Or even heaven. He said, where's heaven at? Where's it at? And I showed you scriptures on it. Watch the video. Check out the video. Inside joke. Bear me for a minute. Now let me come down here. Okay, so here it is. Elder Tahar, how is the stranger in Isaiah 14 Israelite or an Israelite? So now let's go to this page. Now let me tell you, I don't think you're going to have, he might have booty shaking videos. He might have hip hop videos. He might have videos of cars. He's not, I don't think he's a teacher. I mean, he said Elder Tahar. Okay. He heard that. This is what happens when you listen to camps like IUIC. You get confused. Let's click on this page. Okay, nothing. I don't know if this is like a dummy page. I don't know if Deacon Ethan put this up. Let me go ahead and check this out. Okay, so this was put up 2020. So that's we're talking 5 years. No information. This channel doesn't have any content. So I don't think this guy's whoever he is. This could be a dummy page of some Jake. I believe Shalom that it's Deacon Ethan, because he believes that, you know. So anyway, let's deal with. Now I'm going to prove to you, Anyway, Isaiah 14. I'm going to prove to you that because he said that. He said the strangers are the other nation. Cling unto this. He went off again. He went off on the hell thing. He got it half right. And he went off on the heaven thing. He pretty much said, there's no, when you die, you don't go to heaven. You don't go to hell. You just catch hell over here. So, like I said, watch this video. So let's go to Isaiah. Isaiah 14. And all these camps teach that the stranger in Isaiah 14 are the other nations. Because High Priest Ariah used to teach it. High Priest Ariah was going off. The 7 were going off. Yeah, Tahar, but they're the authorities. Not no more. We the authorities. We the authorities. They used to be the authorities. We the authorities now. Where they at? Where they at? Not knocking them. So let's go ahead and read this. Back to the basics. Psychoanalyzing the scriptures. For Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob or Yaquab, which Jacob is interchangeable with the word Israel. Sometimes you come across, you see the word Jacob. Sometimes, based upon the context, it's talking about Israelites. And will yet choose Israel. That's talking about all the tribes. And set them in their own land. What is that going? That's getting ready to happen. And the strangers shall be joined with them. And they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. The strangers are Israelites. When I first came in, I was a stranger that saw the 7. and I cling myself onto them to learn. So am I in this thing? You had brothers that come in through the years in GMS. They were strangers, and they cling on to us so they can learn. Because a lot of brothers that were out of state and even out of country, they used to come out to the camp. They don't do that no more. They don't need to do that. They out here. It's no big deal. So let's look up the word stranger. Did I pass it? And the stranger. So the word stranger or strangers is gar. Gar. A temporary inhabitant. Inhabitant of what? Of Israel. A newcomer lacking inherited rights. The word inherited means really the land. You know, when you got inheritance from your uncle that died or your father, he gave you the land. The deed was put in your name. Inheritance can represent the things that are on the land and so forth. Inheritance also represents our knowledge, but the inheritance means the land that was given to you because of your name, the tribe. That's why when an Israelite born outside the land grows up, has children, baby Israelites, they grow up, they have children, he becomes a grandfather and great-great-grandfather and so forth. Then you have certain Israelites that have been living outside the land, let's say Egypt, Alexandria, Egypt, for 50 years, 100 years. Their families had babies, and so they wanted that part. That one of the members, or some of them, wanted to say, I want to live in Israel now. That's called the law of the stranger, the right of return. The small hats call that the right of return. That's why it says a newcomer lacking inherited rights. They don't have inherited rights unless they put a claim in. Look, I'm from the tribe of Judah, and I want to live in Israel. So they're not going to give you a land in Gad. With Gad, the land of Gad, they're going to give you the land of Judah. It says, lacking inherited rights of foreigners in Israel, right? Foreigners in Israel, Israelites that live outside of the land, though conceded rights. A newcomer lacking inherited rights until you put a claim in that you want to supply the land. So I can close it right there. God just means an Israelite born outside the land. Right, Exodus 12 and 8, sojourner. Proselyte, Phoenician, improper name. Let me just come down here to the precepts. Right, a sojourner, a stranger, foreigner, a person living outside of his own country. His own country is Israel. Right? Okay, this is 92 times. I'm not going to read all of them. Okay, let me see something here. Okay, this is a beautiful example. Okay, let me read Exodus 12, verse 19. 7 days shall there be no leaven found in your house. That's the Passover, or the feast of unleavened bread. For whosoever eateth that which is leavened, even that soul shall be cut off from the congregation of Israel. So these are obviously talking about Israelites. Whether he be a stranger or born in the land. So whether he be a stranger or born in the land. What is a stranger? An Israelite born outside of Palestine, born outside of Levant. And I got to go to the 43rd verse, which is it says stranger, but it's a different definition. 8:16 and 16 means Isgar, which means an Israelite born outside the land. 48 verse, same chapter, Exodus 12. And when a stranger, 8:16 shall sojourn with thee and will keep the Passover. Keep that in mind. A stranger can keep the Passover, right? And H16:16 can keep the Passover. To Yahweh, let all his males be circumcised, his sons, and then let him come near and keep it. And he shall be as one that is born in the land, because he's an actual Israelite. For no uncircumcised person shall eat thereof. So you had Israelites, the first thing that they went off on in the wilderness, that next generation that was born in the wilderness, they wouldn't circumcise their kids. It got back to Joshua, because Moses had went into the spiritual realm. He went into heaven, so you can understand. Joshua got mad and he said, no, we're going to, matter of fact, you know what? I should go into that. I'll go into that in a minute. So this is the 19th verse, Exodus 12, verse 19, Exodus 12, verse 48. Stranger, stranger, H16, 8:16, 16, H16, 16, 16, 16. Let's go to the 43rd verse. This is how you mess up a Christian. (43rd verse). Most High say you can keep the Passover, but if you're circumcised, you got to get circumcised, then you can keep the Passover, right? 43rd verse. Is this it? The 43rd verse? Yeah, it is. Exodus 12, verse 43. And Yahweh said unto Moses and Aaron, this is the ordinance of the Passover. There shall no stranger eat thereof. What if that stranger circumcises himself? Can he? Nope. Now I said in the 19th verse, and in the 48th verse, it said you can eat the Passover as long as you circumcise. But here it says the stranger can't eat the Passover. So what's going on here? Let's click on it. See, IUIC can't get the full deep understanding because they don't go into the Hebrew. Remember, 5 cities in the land of Egypt shall speak the language of Canaan. And the Lord said unto Moses and Aaron, ordinance of the Passover, there shall no stranger. Wait a minute, there's a different word there. The word is Nakar. Nakar is somebody of another nation. If you're a Moabite, you can't partake in the Passover. If you're an Edomite, can't partake in the Passover. Ammonite, Canaanite, whatever, because you're a stranger. The only strangers that can partake in the Passover are Israelites if they're circumcised. There was a big argument, which is called the Jerusalem Council. Let me show you what it is. When you go into the Jerusalem Council, it's going to take you to Acts chapter 15. This is what the scholars call the Jerusalem Council. The Jerusalem Council. It should give you the precept. Acts 15. The Jerusalem Council was a meeting of early Christian apostles and leaders around 50 CE to resolve the question of whether Gentiles, which were Israelites, converts coming to the truth, Gentile converts, Cornelius was one of them, to Christianity or following the Messiah and coming to the realization that they're Israelites. Because you can only be a Christian if you got to qualify to be a Christian. You have to be an Israelite first. Needed to follow the Mosaic law, Judaism. There ain't no Judaism. That's a made-up word, including circumcision. Right? So Peter said, no, you don't got to be circumcised, because they were coming into the faith. I'm surprised they didn't give me the scripture. Oh, here it is. Right, account of the council are found in the New Testament, specifically in Acts 15. So Acts 15, scholars, if you're around scholars and you go into the subject of the Jerusalem Council, they already know that's talking about Acts chapter 15. So now, let's come on back. A lot of Christians don't ask a Christian, what's the Jerusalem Council? Well, I don't know what you mean, brother. What you talking about? Jesus Christ, the Father, and the Holy Spirit, same. Yeah, the Jerusalem Council is the Antichrist. So anyway, I proved it. I don't gotta go any further. How do we know that Isaiah 14:1, when it speaks about the strangers shall be joined into them and cleave unto them, those are Israelites? You click on the word Hebrew is H1616. The word is Gar, which means what? It means an Israelite born outside the land of Israel are lacking inherited rights. How do they get rights to inherited to get an inheritance? They got to put a claim in. I want to live in Israel now. What tribe are you from? I'm from the tribe of Benjamin. They went to the land of Benjamin, and they gave them a plot of land. So I mean, if you can't see it, I don't know. Like I said, whoever this avatar is, and I strongly believe that he's that rascally rabbit, Deacon Athan. But I could be wrong. But I did click on him, and I said, what did I say? I said, before I click on him, you ain't gonna find nothing on it. You might find booty shaking videos, hip hop videos, drill music, or whatever the fuck they call it, racing cars, whatever, toolies, whatever, a sneaker collection. But you're not gonna find anything deep dealing with Israel. So, like I said, I believe this guy's this is not the actual guy. Like I said, I believe it's one of them spies from IUIC. But because they teach that, is because Bishop Nathaniel said, no, the strangers talking about other nations. And none of them guys going to the Hebrew. If Bishop Nathaniel started going to the Hebrew, guess what? They'd all go into Hebrew, and they'll be on the street. Well, let's go to the blue letter, brother. And let me tell you something. I strongly believe, I can't prove it, but knowing Bishop Nate, we know the nigga. We know the nigga from back in the day. I almost guarantee you that he's in that blue letter. That he goes to the blue letter and he puts his lessons together. But he ain't gonna tell you, let's go, and I went to the blue. Because you know what? I would say, wait a minute, nigga, you coming around? You starting to see the light? Huh? And also for you IUIC members, what does Isaiah 19 and 18 mean? 5 cities in the land of Egypt shall speak the language of Canaan, and they shall swear unto the Lord. What does that mean? What does that mean? Matter of fact, you know what I'm going to do? I know I'm going long. You know what I'm going to do? Listen to this, brother. You don't pull no punches. The man mindset. Women ain't shit, and pretty much you got to be their daddy. You want to keep it, you got to be their daddy. You got to tell them what to do, tell them what not to do, tell them how to do it. When you go out, you got to tell them, well, we going here, we're going to do this. You got to be her daddy. You understand? And they like what I call them, chaos goblins. Chaos, God, that's what women are. Chaos goblins. You know? Yeah, Trump is Trump is something else. But that's Nero. What do you expect? That's Nero. You think Nero's gonna come back as a nice guy? I'm looking at this right here. Okay. Okay, let me see. What am I gonna do now? What am I gonna do? I said I was gonna go. Oh, you know what I did? You know what I'm gonna do? Let me go to IUIC. IUIC. Isaiah. 19 and verse 18. Okay, that's Isaiah 19:25. I don't know if he's going to go to the 18th verse. 17 minutes. We might listen to it. You know what? Let me see. Okay, this is myself. Understand Isaiah 19:18 for dummies. Okay, good. IUIC Indiana. Scripture of the day, Leviticus. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Leviticus. Damn. That's Leviticus. Isaiah 19:25. Why not Isaiah 19:18? Okay, so this is a premiere of the Masada Israelite School, which this is Dallas, formerly of Dallas Sakari. Because there was a lot of people after the incident with the former leader of Sakari that they broke off and they set up their own thing. They kept going, which that's what you're supposed to do. Okay, so there's nothing on IUIC focusing on Isaiah 19 and 18. You know what I'm going to do? Let me do this. Isaiah, okay, that's Isaiah 43. There's Isaiah 19 and 18. Let's see who this is.
Shalom. In that day shall 5 cities in the land of Egypt speak the language of Canaan, and swear to the Lord of hosts. One shall be called the city of destruction. Shalom. Shalom. In that day shall 5 cities in the
He
land.
didn't break it down. I am the Lord God in the land of Egypt, the city of the sun, Israel. I guess nobody. You know what? I'm sorry, y'all. I'm going along. Okay, let's see what this guy says. Let's see if he hit. He may. Okay, matching chapter. Isaiah 19 and 18. Okay, so let's see what he says. Let's see how he breaks it down.
Right, so it says, in that day shall 5 cities in the land of Egypt.
So I went to this before, as you can see. Let's see how he breaks it down.
The language of Canaan. Speak Hebrew, right? Read.
And swear to the Lord of hosts. One shall be called the city of destruction.
And swear to the Lord of hosts. Why would they be speaking Hebrew in the land of Egypt? Give me that in Jeremiah 44 and verse 1. Read that. Jeremiah 44, verse 1.
Jeremiah chapter 44, verse 1.
Read.
The word that came to Jeremiah concerning all the Jews which dwell in the land of Egypt.
Wait a second. Concerning what?
All the Jews which dwell in the land of Egypt.
All the Jews which dwell in the land of Egypt. See how simple that is? All the Jews that dwell there. So when let's go back. Isaiah, read verse 19 and 18 again.
Isaiah chapter 19, verse 18.
Read.
In that day shall 5 cities in the land of Egypt speak the language of Canaan, and swear to the Lord of hosts. One shall be called the city of destruction.
Read.
In that day shall there be an altar to the Lord in the midst of the land of Egypt.
What? Read.
And a pillar at the border thereof to the Lord.
Now, it says, in that day shall there be an altar to the Lord in the midst of the land of Egypt, and a pillar at the border thereof to the Lord. Give me 2 Maccabees 1 and 1. 2 Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 1.
2 Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 1.
Read.
The brethren, the Jews that be at Jerusalem, and in the land.
Wait a second. Read it again from the top.
The brethren, the Jews.
You can clearly see that they're going off. But anyway, what I did was, this is what I did. This is what I did. Okay, they chopped it up for you. Isaiah 19 and 18. How do we teach Isaiah? What is Isaiah 19 and 18 talking about? It's talking about America. He's saying that's Egypt. See, you had Israelites, Jeremiah 44 and 1, and Maccabees this and Maccabees that. We were in Egypt speaking Israel. No. So you know they're going off again.
Our cities in the land of Egypt speak the language of Canaan.
Right then and there, you should be like, wait a second. Speak the language of Canaan. When it says the language of Canaan, that's going into speaking Hebrew. Right? So it says, in that day shall 5 cities in the land of Egypt speak the language of Canaan. Speak Hebrew, right? Read.
And swear to the Lord of hosts. One shall be called the city of destruction.
And swear to the Lord of hosts. Why would they be speaking Hebrew in the land of Egypt? Give me that in Jeremiah 40.
The right way to break it down is the land of Egypt is talking about America. Remember, the Bible is written in code. I believe Nate knows this, but he's set up to deceive. Right? I'm getting ready to close. To deceive. What the fuck am I looking at? I'm sorry. I'm just looking, something in my mind. I'm trying to put the scripture along with it. Give me a second here. I can't phrase it in my mouth. Give me a second, y'all. I don't know if I spelled that wrong. Okay. Okay, yeah, we'll go with this one. And it shall come to pass in that day that the prophets shall be ashamed, every one of his vision, the way you teach the scriptures. All these major camps is teaching that the MOTB, for example, is something other than the mark of the beast. That's what it's talking about. IUIC, ISBK, these major camps. When he have prophesied, neither shall they wear a rough garment to deceive. Because when they teaching contrary to what it's supposed to be, they're wearing a garment to deceive, or a rough garment to deceive. Rough garment, the prophets wore rough garments. Okay? The prophets, ancient prophets didn't look like they jumped out of a GQ photo shoot. So this guy, let me come back to this guy. He didn't say it was talking about America because he was taught that by Bishop Nathaniel, which Bishop Nathaniel knows that that's talking about America. So all he's doing is regurgitating what he learned from his leaders. Regurgitating zombies. That's what they are. I'm not snapping on them, I'm telling the truth. What can you say in a nutshell about IUIC? They are regurgitating zombies. Let me try something. Regurgitating zombies. It should have been a whole bunch of IUIC videos come up. Let me see. Let me see here. What happened to zombies no longer vomiting? And give me. Let me see. Regurgitating zombies. I don't want to be a bad guy. I don't want to be that nigga. But I guess I'm going to have to be that nigga. It should say any member of IUIC. A regurgitating zombie is a type of zombie that attacks by vomiting or spitting a substance. Yeah, that substance is lies. That is typically corrosive, toxic, or infectious. Yeah, that's what they're spitting is that toxins, man. Unlike a standard zombies that spread infections through biting. So spitting is speaking, right? So IUIC are nothing but regurgitating zombies. These variants pose a threat from a distance. Right, when you watch them, you can be in England watching Nate in America, and that spit will get you. Don't get hit by the spit. and can affect multiple targets at once because of the YouTube. The vomit attack. The scriptures speak about vomit, right? All tables are full of what? Of vomit. Isaiah. I believe that's 28, if I'm not mistaken. Often, if not 28, 29. Often also has additional effects such as blinding survivors. Right, you get blind, attacking more undead. So we got this big heap, this army, the purple army. No, they're zombies. I'm not snapping on you. I'm just telling you the truth. I'm just being real with y'all. And y'all spitting, y'all are spitting too. Y'all are spitting vomit. Give me a second. It's either Isaiah 28 or Isaiah 29. Isaiah 28. Vomit, right? When you go to the IUIC and learn, all tables are full of vomit and filthiness, so that there is no place clean, right? So this guy, they spit on this guy, they vomit on this guy. So he becomes a zombie and he spits vomit. You motherfucking know. You goddamn know that Isaiah 19 and 18 is talking about America. That's Isaiah 19 is talking about America. The crew, we know who the crew of Lord is. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom on to the next.